Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Pretender Contenders Coaches Show. I'm your host, Coach Devon Powell, here football coach at Law High School, also assistant basketball coach at Law High School as well. At some point tonight, we'll be joined by my co-host, the Midnight Rider. You know, the hardest working man in podcast land is what I call him. I'm sure he's just getting off of work, so he'll join us when he can. Glad to be back with you guys. It's been a 2 weeks off. I've had basketball games the last 2 weeks on Monday night, so it was hard for me to do a show. I tried to go at a different time, but that didn't work out either. I didn't want to rush anything, so I'm back live with you this week, and a good show coming on tonight, man. We want to close out football season briefly. You know, I didn't get to do a show after the All-Star game, the PG vs. Smack All-Star game, so I'll talk about that briefly. And then we want to start getting into basketball, man. It's basketball season in high school right now, winter sports going on right now, and they're rocking and rolling early, man. And, you know, PG County's had some great ball over the first 2 weeks of the season. We'll talk about that. And I got my special guest coming on tonight is my guy, Karsten Miller, MFV All Sports Network. If Midnight Rider is the hardest working man in podcast land, Karsten is the hardest working man in high school sports coverage and vlog land, because he's all over the place with it. So glad to have my guy join us again. He's been on the show a couple of times, but always a great conversation when he joins the show. Just give you an update. We will have a show next week as well on Monday. I know this holiday season's up here, and I hope everybody's out there not going broke, spending all their money on these Christmas gifts. And if you're still looking for some money to spend, you know, hit me up. Wear size 11 shoe, size large shirt, you know, size 38 pants, you know. So hit me up. I'll give you my address so you can send me all gifts. I take all gifts. I love food, so gift cards to, you know, anywhere where I can get some food at, I appreciate that too. Just got a message from my guy, Midnight Rider. He said he'll join in a second. Just getting in from his real job, so he'll be on. But I'm gonna get right into it, man. I don't want to keep everybody tied up all night long, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my guy, Karsten Miller, to the stage from MFV All Sports Network.
How you doing?
What's going on, brother?
Not much. I'm here at my parents' place. I always visit them on Monday nights, you know, as they get older. So just trying to make sure they're good.
Yep. Got to take care of your people. Yeah. So what's been going on, man? I know it's winter sports season, man, and I know you came out to the 300 the night we laid an egg against Blake High School, but what's been going on?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the game was starting out well, and I don't. Hey, then they turned it on.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it started out well, and then you know, before I get into that game, let me just say that, you know, we're coming off the state championship last year, and as I mentioned before on the show, we graduated 8 seniors, and 8 of those seniors, that was 8 of our top 9 rotation. No, not top 9. I say top 10 rotation. And we only returned 3 players from that team last year that actually played any minutes of note.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So that was rough. And then one of our players that was supposed to return didn't have grades to start the second quarter out. And then, you know, that's our big 6'8" center. So that hurt us there. So we're basically with a whole new squad. People are stepping into new roles that they didn't have to play in the past, and it's a transition. It's been a struggle so far. So now getting back to that Blake game, it started out well, and then everything went to hell about the 3 minute mark in the first quarter. We had no turnovers in the first 5 minutes of the game, and then we proceeded from that point on to halftime to get 15 turnovers. So
Yeah,
that lets you know right there that it was going to be a long night.
yeah, yeah. Hey,
Yeah. So, all right. But the 300 is always a great atmosphere.
yeah,
The crowd was juiced up, man. A lot of people thought they was going to get to see Barber play. Um, but
no, he
he
was.
was kind of, dealing with a small injury at the
Mm,
time. So he was a little shut down. I think he did play the other night, though. Um,
okay.
so I think he did suit up and play. But yeah, Blake is a very good team.
Hmm.
They got some guards on that team that can go. I can't remember their names, but number one on that team shots light out. I mean, shot
Yeah,
lights out. Like seemed like
yeah.
every shot he put up from beyond the arc was nothing but net. So it's a rough one. My bad. I ain't mean to take over your spot, but
No, 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 no. I was, I getting off the football states, which was cold. The weather was worse this year than it was the year before. You
I
know,
believe it.
for
I
me,
believe it.
because yeah, I mean, I ain't too much of a fan of the cold. I may look like I had on that thin stuff, but I was like 6 or 7 layers of clothing under that. A lot of people
Mm,
don't know that. Uh, but it was cold out there, and that's a little bit of a problem with the tools I use, because that means that they got to run faster, so I'm wasting battery, and all different types of things was happening. So I got to kind of pace out what I'm going to film. I miss stuff, I ain't
mm-hmm.
moving down the field fast enough with guys. In particular, the Dunbar game was super long.
Oh yeah.
It was super long. It was a great game. It was just super long. All the
Mm-hmm.
penalties in the fourth quarter. I think they said it was like about 30, 40 penalties just in that game. And so the other game didn't start till 8. So I'm like, oh my goodness,
Yeah, that was 8:30. That was 8:30
Yeah,
when it started because I cut it on to watch the Wise game, and I'm like, what's going on? Are you having technical difficulty? Do I need to drive down to Navy Stadium to watch the game or what?
yeah,
And then I got a text somebody saying, oh, the Dunbar game went longer than it should have. I
yeah,
stopped watching the Dunbar game after the first half, so I was done watching that one. So I was
yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah, no, so seeing that, they were all good games. You know, my the I will say this. I'm glad my mom ain't here to hear this, but I was silently rooting for Wise in that
mm-hmm,
game. I love QO to death, but I just wanted to see Wise, get it,
right,
kind of
right,
just see that. But it is what it is. QO did their thing. I'm not hating at all. Um,
yep, yep, yep.
you know,
I think Wise played a good game.
yeah.
Um, And I actually think I wasn't surprised, but I think a lot of people were surprised that the game was so close.
Hmm.
Um, I knew that Wise has athletes.
Yeah.
QO was better, in the trenches, especially that D line. That D line they got was vicious,
Yeah.
especially number 9.
Hmm.
Forgot his name, but then he's only a junior, so he's coming back next year. But I really thought that the game plan that Coach Frapp had at Wise
Hmm.
was the right one for that game.
Hmm.
And he tried some things to get his athletes the ball in space. His quarterback didn't have much time though.
Hmm.
He didn't have much time, but they battled, man. They didn't give
Yeah.
up, and it could have. You keep a game close, anything can happen down the stretch. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So I mean, I was happy for the Baltimore teams, because I know last year both of those teams were beaten, and so to see them come back and actually win, yeah, it's good for Baltimore City. So I was happy to see
Mhm.
that. The Fort Hill
Yeah.
game, Fort Hill
Hmm.
and Patuxent game, I had told them beforehand. I was like, I don't want to see anybody lose. Uh, and they because before I had talked on the Fort Hill side when over there it was talking, it was like, well, you think we can win it? And I said, well, if you do this, you'll win the game.
Hmm.
But if you resort to this, you're gonna have some problems.
Right.
And
Right.
exactly what they did in the first half, they was winning, and then the second half, Patuxent did what they've been mostly doing all season, being that comeback team.
Hmm.
And you know, they did their thing.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Coach Krause afterwards. Uh, and he was like, shook his hand and everything. He was like, "We beat him." I was like, "Yeah, you did it. You did it. You said you was going to do it, and you did it."
Yep.
But
Yeah. I had one of my childhood friends was actually his son actually played for Fort Hill, and I didn't know that.
oh, okay.
Um, I didn't know that beforehand, and I talked to him before the game, and he was excited for the opportunity. Man, his son was one of the corners on the team, um, so he was excited for that opportunity and thought they was going to get another championship, but they fell a little short.
Hmm.
Um, I mean to cut you off real quick, but hardest working man in podcast land just joined us.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Midnight Rider. Good, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. If I don't see you before the holiday, man, have a good Christmas. Happy holidays to you and your family, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, and same to you. Um, I was just let everybody know at the start of the show, man. If anybody still wants some money to spend, just hit me up. I got a couple things that I'll take.
Okay.
So, you want to throw your money away, send it my way. I'll take it.
And I just got an argument with people at work because they wanted to do a gift exchange. I'm like, why not just hand you $20? Like, what am I doing here? Like, it
Right.
just doesn't make sense.
Yep. 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 That's me too. I'm always last minute with Christmas, so
Mm.
I'm actually surprised that I did as much shopping beforehand. Well, as much ordering beforehand than I
Right.
usually do. But sorry, got sidetracked there. So I got Karsten's on. He was just recapping state championship games from down there with his coverage. I think that you was talking about the Fort Hill game, and
Yeah.
and before that you mentioned the two Baltimore City teams
Yeah.
that won. And I got talk about Mervo real quick, man, because I was watching that
Woo.
game, and that
That.
kid number 5, the quarterback. Oh my God,
Yeah.
you
That
know what
kid.
his name was?
I don't remember it offhand. I just know his number.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find his name, man, because that kid he had a heck of a game. Been
Yeah.
in midnight in that game. I think he threw for like 170 or 180, and then he rushed for like 180 yards
Yeah.
too.
And
Mm.
they could not catch him.
No, no, oh
They
no,
could not catch him. I mean, he was going, slipping through, breaking tackles. I'm like, oh my goodness, he's a
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
And I mean, and then there's credit to his line too.
mm-hmm,
Because I asked the lineman at the end about that, how they were able to protect. Because a lot of that credited to the line and the work that they were doing too as well. Um,
mm-hmm,
but I mean, he got to a point and he just got tired. Okay, I've had enough. I'm gonna do this
yeah.
thing, put this on my shoulders, and finish this off. And oh my goodness, yeah,
Somebody just jumped into the
yeah,
chat. Isaiah Miller said number 5 on Merle's Jalen Solomon.
Jalen Solomon. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I mean Isaiah, if you can just if you know what grade he's in, because that kid is coming back. Oh my goodness. And I had a conversation with Coach Rapp from Wise after that game, after the games, matter of fact, and he said that Wise scrimmaged Mervo at the beginning of the year, and he was impressed with him because they had a couple of kids on that team that's getting recruited. I think 2 of them had already committed, and he was like, and the quarterback was just a dog.
Yeah,
and he showed it firsthand in that state championship. Like I said, I need to know what year he is, because if he's coming back,
and his accuracy, his throwing, he got it on. Don't sleep. Don't let all that scrambling and stuff fool you.
Oh, and then when he did scramble, they tried to contain him, but you couldn't do nothing with him. I mean, couldn't do nothing with him. My guy, Coach Vic, O-line, D-line coach over at Blake High School. My guy over there just said Mervo had grown men on the O-line and D-line. Yeah, they were big up front, and they look good. I would say I don't pay attention to a lot of Baltimore City football. And everybody knows about Dunbar, of course, and we know who Mervo is, but I hadn't seen him play all year, and I was like, oh my God, they look nice.
Yeah, it was good. I want to shout out too that the Patuxent QB, he was a freshman.
Yeah.
He whoo, like for him to do that, like to come back from 3. Because I'd seen him earlier in the year too when they played Northern. He was like that. I was like, he a freshman? I was like, oh no, he gonna be a problem. He gonna be a problem. Yeah.
I had a conversation with
I forget his name.
Question for you, Karsten.
Yeah.
How do you pick the games that you actually want to go see? Like what? I just gotta know, man.
I get that question a lot. It's a number of things. Right now, it depends on what is convenient or centered around my family. Now with my son kind of helping out more, I can say, hey, I'm gonna go to this game.
Okay.
He'll keep me back. Well, you might not want to go to that one because this is it. I'm more. I try, because I have people suggest games to me, or say, hey, can you come to this one? And I'm like, I don't know if I can pull that off. So it's a number of factors that have to play into effect. Number one is, does it meet my scheduled time? Like, because sometimes I gotta take off work, and way they tightening up now with the government, that's made it even harder. So that just I don't mind driving. That's not an issue, but it's I do, and I try. Like, if somebody suggests a game to me, then I may put it down and say, okay, I'll try and remember that to get to that game. I am trying to get to more places that I haven't been. My goal is I know this may take years, but I want to get to every single high school place that does sports in the DMV. So I'm almost at my goal with Anne Arundel County, because there's only one school I haven't filmed at, and that's Southern. So that's kind of that. I mean, if that makes sense.
No, of course.
Yep.
I mean, I know it's like, I'm one person. I'm trying to train my son how to do this, and so he can go and maybe do some things and add his own twist to it. But I'm just one person. So I mean, there's some games I come like. One of the things that I really like, this is just a videographer thing, make it easy for me to come. Like, I'm big on respect and how you treat me, and how you treat how you treat media in general. If you disrespectful, I'll deal with it for a time, but then I'm gonna be like, I can't do that.
That's why he always comes to the 300 because we take care of him over there.
Yeah. Yes, we just come in, they just and some people, is he getting in there for free? And a lot of people don't know, I'm actually buying tickets anyway, because that's how I support the school. I'll buy the ticket. I just ain't gonna tell you I'm doing it. And I just did now. But
yeah. Because I always tell you, man, you don't need no ticket. Come on in.
Yeah, and it's just something I choose to do to support the school, wherever I'm at. But I just, when I say like make it easy, it's just simple like that. Like, you can come and nobody's gonna get in your way and anything like that, unless of course if I'm intruding, then I need to know that and just say, hey, we need you over here. That's fine, but just don't make it difficult. And that's a lot how to get me like out there. Like, I've had athletic directors just say, yo, you don't even tell me you coming. Just show up. We got you. That makes it easy. Right. But
yeah, that's like IED, because I put a list together for every game, and he's like, you don't have to put Karsten on the list no more, man. Like, don't even worry about putting him on the list. When we see him coming, he know he good. So
yeah, I appreciate it, man. Because I just my goal is I just want the school to get the exposure, and as best as possible, that's the thing. And I know some places, I understand they have certain things that they have to deal with, but if, like, say there's a couple games I've been looking at during the week, like, as if I know, I can just go to the 300, but this school I gotta do all this and contact this, because I know you just don't walk on anybody's territory. That's not how it does. Right. It may look like that, like, he out there, he just getting on it. No, I'm a week before talking to people, and hey, I'm coming. This is what I do. This is my information. My IDs. Thing I got. This. What do you call them? Credential. And I show them, and they check it out. They go through. They check it out and everything, and sometimes they'll ask, let me see this, and what do you do here? And, this kind of thing, so when I don't have to do that, that makes it easier for me to come. Not to say that, that stuff is not important. But and I just, just like to build a good rapport, with the school and that kind of thing.
I may have asked you this before, but what's the motivation for some of the schools and wanting to do this?
Okay, that's a good question. I like that. So when I was growing up, I'm almost 48 years old. In the time that I was growing up, I saw Maryland, where it was a place where the recruits and everything came to it. It was the athletic hub everybody was coming to. And then as I got older, I started noticing, I said, why is that not happening no more? Now I'm seeing Florida. Now I'm seeing Texas. Now I'm seeing California. And people just know, yeah, we going there. So that was, I was like, I got to bring that back. So that's what my motivating, to bring that back to like where they're looking at us, because we have the talent, we have the athletes on all sports. Like, you come to Maryland for lacrosse players. That's what I'm looking for. When I want them, when they think, I'm going to the DMV because I want a basketball player, I want this type of football player. That's my motivation. And why I'll go 2 hours away, this place, that place. That's the motivation.
Cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gotcha. So, like I say, you cover as many sports as you can get to.
Mm-hmm.
So what you got on the horizon in the winter season? And I haven't seen you do a track meet yet. I might have missed it, but
Indoor. I've done outdoor. I
okay,
haven't done
gotcha.
an indoor meet. I haven't done
Mm-hmm.
wrestling.
Gotcha.
And I've dropped that ball.
Well, I'm gonna put this in your ear. Wrestling wise, this year we're hosting one of the regionals
Okay.
for state. So, Coach Marcus, my guy Marcus is my assistant coach. He is actually one of the reps for wrestling in PG
Okay.
County. So we'll be hosting that at the school. I forgot what weekend it is, but I'll get it for you and let you know.
Yeah. Let me know.
Because that's a good place to come because you got several schools there, and coming out of that, you win in the regions, you qualify for state. So that'll be a two-day tournament, and there'll be some good coverage there. It's in February, but I just got to get the date for you.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. The basketball, I'm seeing some teams in the. I know Wise is good. Flowers is looking good. They just beat Largo.
Mm-hmm.
And Largo was looking good. So I was like, oh, okay. Flowers making a name for herself. What's going on with Laurel? You told me about that earlier. you prepared me.
Yeah. It's a rough situation, man. It's a rough one.
Yeah.
It's a rough one. But go keep on going.
So it's, I'm seeing, I was looking at, Blake looks good. Of course, Wise, Flowers, Douglas. Who else have I been watching? Baltimore, of course, the city's looking good. I'm I got my heart in Anne Arundel County, so I'm really looking at Meade.
Yep. Somebody just put in the
yes.
comments. Don't sleep on the Meade Mustangs. Trust me,
yeah.
we're not sleeping on Meade, man. Coach Glick, I've been knowing Glick for a long time.
That's why me sounds familiar. Okay.
Yeah, Coach Glick, he has a good mob over there. And of course, he got the reigning Anne Arundel County Player of the Year back. He was only a sophomore last year. He's now, what's his name? Keon Scott. Yep, Keon Scott. He can go. So, ain't nobody sleeping on me. We actually played them in the state semifinals last year.
Yeah.
Down at Wise High School, man. It was a tough game. It was a battle. I think we wound up winning by 12 points. But it was close all the way. We pulled it out at the end. And Keon is a dog. So we ain't, trust me, buddy, we ain't sleeping on me.
Yeah. That's the team I'm rooting for. I ain't gonna tell no lies about it. I want to see them take it all away. I'd like to see that. I saw that with Laurel, so I was like, okay, my heart is with me too. I want to see them. I know I think South River is undefeated. Was
let me see.
Do you incorporate any kind of like list? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just saying Meade is 7-0 right now. And South River is what, 3A? Yeah, South River. No, South River is actually 4-1 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was going to ask you, do you incorporate any kind of list or season end list to that, like to give your thoughts on players, like your top 5 or the 5 guys you should watch?
Yes, Coach Devon.
And I'm asking you
Oh,
because you see all these players.
yeah. When I really get focused on it is the playoffs.
Okay,
That's kind of like where I look because I like to see a team when it's either win or lose,
got you.
and that's gonna show. I tend not to like, and my son will tell you this. I don't like the games where you get 40 balled. You know, if you're gonna have that kind of game, then you better give me some showtime. I want to see some dunks, super threes, back at the, you know. I don't want to see you doing no layups and stuff, and you 40 balling the team. I like to see a team play when it's neck and neck, because that's gonna kind of give me an indication of how they're gonna be when the playoffs and when the game is on the line, and you can see that a lot when those games are close like that. So those are the kind of games I like. You know, Severn just had one where they played. Severn Run just played. Who was it? Broadneck, double overtime, and they pulled it out. You know, I like to see even me get in those situations when they battled it out with Old Mill. See, yeah, because you undefeated don't mean nothing. Them playoffs, man, they change your whole, because teams play different.
Right.
That team could have been lost a few games. You undefeated, and you come in there, yeah, we got this. Boom, and they get you because it's different now. Now, can you handle the heat? Now you see, okay, let's see who's really being coached out here. Let's see who's really about it. I think that that's when I really start focusing in. Okay, on that, and you can kind of get a glimpse of it in those close games. I'm thinking Glen Burnie just played Northeast. Northeast was the other team that's undefeated, but they had the player Chris Maddox, and he also played football, but he was in this game. And Chris, just even though they lost, he put that game on his back, and I said, okay, I see that. Because you see the player, like he's ready. He wants this to win this game, and I'm gonna put this game on my back. And the team you see the team just follow that kind of thing, and that's what you see kind of in the playoffs. But that's just, and that's why I tend to generally look, okay, let me focus in on this team in playoff time. Let me see what they're gonna do then.
Makes sense.
So yep. So while we still on basketball, or while we're talking about basketball, wanted to give an update on what's going on in PG County right now. After the first 2 weeks of the season, and midnight, if I screw this up, you can help me out here a little bit, with the production part here. So we're looking at the PG County schools right now.
Yep,
and 4A standings right now, Flowers is 5-0. Bowie is sitting at 4-1 right now. The surprise so far in PG County has been, well, I'm not going to call them a surprise. They've surprised me. It's Bladensburg. They actually beat us by 8 points last week, and Bladensburg is 4-1 right now.
okay.
Wise is currently 3-1. And we played Wise last week as well and lost to them. Wise, good team. Doesn't look as strong as the team they had last year. But it's early on. They got a new head coach over there, so it's beginning of the season. We'll see how they look down the stretch. High Point right now is currently 2-1. Over our Spartans is 2-4 right now. Northwestern is 1-4. Roosevelt is 1-2, which is a surprise start for them because I actually thought they were one of the better teams, them and Flowers, in PG this year. But like I said, it's still early. Parkdale is 1-3. Duval is 0-4. Duval lost a lot of seniors like we did last year, so this is a rebuild for them as well. And Suitland is currently 0-5. Then when we move to the 1A, 2A, 3A schools, so Ratchville is 6-0 right now.
Okay.
Okay. That was interesting when I saw that, so I'm gonna have to look at some film and check them out. Gwynn Park is 5-1. Largo is 3-1. Like Karsten mentioned earlier, their loss was to Flowers the other day. Fairmont Heights is 3-1. Potomac is 4-2. Oxon Hill is 3-2. CMIT North is 3-2. They got a really good squad over there, CMIT North. So
okay,
they should make them some noise in the 1A playoffs when that comes up. Douglas is 3-3. CMIT South is 1-4. They actually had a strong season last year, but I think they graduated a few players as well. Crossland is 1-4. Central is 1-5. That was our opponent in our first game of the year. We beat Central in the first one. College Park Academy is 0-3, and Friendly is 0-4 right now. These standings are courtesy of the Prince George's County Boys Basketball Coaches Association. I'm not a member of them, but I follow them. And the guy that runs that is actually the Bladensburg head coach who used to be at Parkdale last year. So this is courtesy of them, information for them. And they also put out, last week, the 1A, 2A, 3A player of the week was Ezra Jackson from Central High School.
okay.
Hold on a second. I have Ezra's stats right here. One sec. I moved locations and I wasn't on top of my game, so don't dock my pay midnight. So yeah, Ezra was the 1A, 2A, 3A player of the week. He averaged 28 points while hitting a career high and currently the season high of 40 points in their game versus Gwynn Park. So that was a good game for him. And then our 4A player of the week, and we'll probably mention this name a lot this year, is Brandon Brooks from Flowers High School. Brandon is probably, in my mind, the front runner for PG 4A player of the year this year. It seemed like he's been at Flowers for 20 years. Kind of reminds me of Baycott from North Carolina. Seemed like he was in school for 10 years. Well, that's all because he can only play in school. He can't play in the NBA. So, yeah, I threw a shot. But Brandon Brooks, the coach's son, his father's the head coach at Flowers, and he's been on varsity since he was his freshman year. And I've seen this kid just get better and better each year, man. And he's playing great ball right now. He's averaging 25.6 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. And he had a career high 35 points versus Largo in that matchup. So, we could actually meet Flowers this week. We're playing in the Water Showcase down in Showplace Arena, the 26th and 27th for this week, Friday and Saturday. Our first game is actually on Fridays against CMIT North, so that should be a good game. It should be an up and down, up pace game, up tempo game because they got some guards that can go. And our strength of our team right now is our guards. And then the winner of that will play the winner of Flowers, and I forgot who they was playing. I think Fairmont Heights. So some good. If you're looking for some good basketball, that's the place to be this weekend. Showplace Arena down in Upper Marlboro for the In the Water PG County In the Water Showcase, hosted by Maryland Parks and Planning. And there's boys and girls games down there all day Friday, all day Saturday. But yeah, that's our PG 4A player of the week, Brandon Brooks from Flowers High School. Sorry about that. Just trying to midnight. You can get the screen back.
Got you, man.
Appreciate it.
So what's Sarasville got going on? Anybody know?
Yeah, I'm about to pull up what their games and see who they've played so far, because that was a surprise when I got that standings update. I was like, so Ratsville 6-0? Okay. They got something working down there for them. Let me see. So Ratsville, where they at? Because that was a surprise when you think about basketball. And I think they got a new coach down there at Saratsville as well. I don't think they got the same coach. And you got to forgive me because basketball classifications are different than their regions and stuff are different than football. So I don't know where everybody's at. I got to go search for them.
Don't get me started on that either.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Ratsville. So looks like they beat Northern. They beat Chesapeake Science Point from out of Anne Arundel County. They beat College Park Academy, CMIT South, and Friendly. Okay, so I will say that the schedule hasn't been tough yet, but nonetheless, you play who's on your schedule, and they 6-0 right now. That's all that matters. So they got some tougher matchups coming up after the break, coming up against Potomac and Gwynn Park. CMIT North, Fairmont Heights, and Frederick Douglass, and then they got Largo. So their schedule's about to get a lot tougher. And, we'll really see what they're made of coming up after the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we'll find out if they're legit. Early in the year, a lot of teams are still trying to find their way.
Yeah.
Like I said, in our case, we have people stepping up in new roles that, they got to get used to. We're lacking a true leader right now, last year, and we need somebody that can score consistently as well too. I know me, I'm gonna keep it real. Last year we had the two-headed monster in JT and Amadou, who could either one of them could take over a game in a flash, and and the coaches didn't have to urge them much. They could just take over, get a couple steals. JT hit a 3, and next thing you know, we on a 10-point swing in 30 seconds. This year we got to work a little bit harder for our buckets. Gotta work a little bit harder, and still trying to get the rotation settled, but we getting there. We getting there.
Hey, Coach, I have that schedule for the 26th.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead. You can read that off.
12 p.m. Game 1, Laurel versus CMIT.
Mm-hmm.
Game 2 is at 1:45. That's Bowie versus Arundel.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like 3:30. It's Game 3. It's the girls' game between Gwynn Park and Parkdale.
Okay.
Game 4 is at 5:15. That's also the young ladies. Flowers versus Kip. They don't designate, but then Game 5 is Flowers versus Fairmont. And then Game 6 is at 8:45. Eleanor Roosevelt versus Theodore Roosevelt.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So yeah, it's gonna be some good basketball down there. Like I said, Saturday and Sunday. Friday and Saturday. On Saturday, the winners play against the winners, of course, and the losers play against the losers. So we'll know the matchups after those games have been played.
Yeah, and then they had the tickets up. They got a couple things you can do. You can do 2 packs, a 4-pack, or a 3-pack. Like, I guess those get you passes for multiple games for that week, for that first day. So,
what's the name? What's the name of it?
It's called In the Water Showcase.
In the Water.
I found it easier on the PG County Parks and Recreation page.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Because they're the host of it, so.
Okay.
Yep, we played in it last year. It was a nice run event. They fed all the players. Nice game. You're playing in a arena size, so it's a nice little venue for the kids to play in. I think last year, we lost to Bowie by like 2 points down there, and then we played. I can't remember who we played the next day, but whoever we played, we destroyed them. Oh, Reservoir. We played Reservoir the next day, and we beat them by almost 40 points. But yeah, nice venue, good games. They invite college coaches out. They invite the bands out, the cheerleaders out if you want to bring them. So it's a nice little showcase for the holiday season.
Did they have the media? Where did the media go? That's what I'm looking for.
I'll figure that out for you.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out for you.
Let me know.
All right, yeah, because we did have some media down there. But yep, I'll get that information for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what you got coming up soon? What you covering?
I got some games coming up. I'm gonna say what they are yet.
Got you.
Yeah, I have to do that now. I can't announce where I'm headed. I can tell you about that later.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and I can't say I am looking to go to the Eastern Shore. I'm also looking ahead up to Cumberland at some time, and I'm probably going to be around the SMAC too as well. So with basketball too, that's the thing. It's a lot easier to go to different places because there's so many games happening during the week. So it makes it where I can go so many places. With football, it's a little harder because everybody playing on Friday.
Right.
So it limits me. I wish they would have like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That way I could go different places. But anyway, yeah, looking into that. And I want to find out about the track information and the wrestling. Because I'm gonna get out to that. And the girls' games. I gotta get to the girls' games too. As well.
Yeah, when you mentioned wrestling, the regionals is the February 27th and 28th.
Okay.
Yep. I'll send you that too, just so you got it.
Okay.
If you can make it out, but waiting we have a girls basketball association PG County too. So I was waiting for their rep to send me some information on what they got, but I hadn't got it yet. But we'll get some coverage of the girls going soon in PG County. See where their standards are right now. Basketball, see, in football, the state website gets updated like all the time. So you report your scores after the game. So if your game ain't up there by Friday night, it's gonna be up there by Saturday morning, and then your standings are updated every Tuesday. In basketball, and the teams can go a whole season without reporting their scores, and then they report them all in at the last minute. So it's hard to look at the standings on the state site because it ain't that accurate until we get close to playoff time. Some ADs don't do what they're supposed to do after games, but that's a different conversation. Another day. So who have you covered so far basketball wise that you have been impressed with?
I did like Blake.
Who
else? Mead, of course. I mentioned them. And so I just started out. So I'm Lansdowne. I did like them. Lansdowne. Last year they kind of had struggle games, but this year they've started off pretty good. So impressed in what I saw there. They got that guy Trevor Howard. They got another guy. I forget his name. But yeah, Northeast, of course. Um, they were the 3A champions 2 years ago. And so
Mm-hmm.
they had had a rebuilding. They lost some people. They had a rebuilding year, and they're starting off well. And so I asked actually the one of their players, Cameron, about like does he, what does he think seeing as far as could they make it to states? He was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's looking like that. Um, I looked at Edmondson. Edmondson looks like they're getting serious. So we was actually talking about this today. The Edmondson I seen it's the West Side. You know they used to be dunking the ball. Showtime. You know, it seems like Coach now is like, all right, enough of that. We playing serious. Because he looked like he wants to get to that state game because last year they had lost to I think was it C beat them. So he's taking things
Yeah,
seriously
they
over
lost in the Emerson got beat in the quarterfinals last year. It was the semifinals. I think it
there.
was.
Yeah,
Because when we played Mervo in the quarterfinals at Lowell, and a lot of the Edmondson fans and parents had came to our
yeah.
game. They wanted to support Mervo.
I remember
Those schools
that.
are close. They hang tough. Yeah, they battle with each other, but they do support each other
hmm
when they playing against other teams. So yeah, a lot of them that came out that day, and yeah, they had won that quarterfinal round. Then I think they lost the seed in the semifinals.
Yeah,
But they watching Edmondson last year, because I remember watching their game against Mervo when I was preparing for the Mervo game, and they had some players, man. They could go. They could
yeah,
get up and down the floor, and like you said, they had some high flyers as well. So yeah, they had a good squad.
yeah. And see, that's the thing I do like about the PG Baltimore ball. They're gonna play in your face. You know, they're gonna be aggressive with you, and that Mervo Laurel game last year. That was that game. I was like, this could go any way.
Yeah, that was a
That's
good
it.
game, man. It was intense. We
Woo.
had a couple of little arguments in the crowd that we had
Yeah.
to settle
Yes.
down, but it was a good basketball game, man. They had a tough
Mhm.
team. I think we kind of warmed down the stretch. They had gotten into a little foul trouble, and I think the tempo of the game might have hurt them a little bit because we went a little bit deeper than on the bench than what they could. So.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said, when JT and Amadou got going last year, once they get a
Yeah.
couple steals and a couple back-to-back baskets, that momentum swing at
Yeah.
midnight. It's just like we talked about in NCAA in the game. When that momentum shifts, it's
Right.
hmm
hard to come back from it.
Yeah.
And that atmosphere last year was electric. It was packed in the gym. Um, we got some crazy parents on our side that they bring energy. So it was a great basketball game. I tell you that.
Yeah. It was. It was. It was. And that's how
And
that's how I like it. Like that. Like
hmm
that. You gotta be like, oh,
hmm
okay, this gonna be a game. But
yeah, it was.
I figured from that game, I said, whoever wins this game is going to win states. I you could see it. I was like, yeah, whoever wins this
Yeah,
game gonna win states. And
yeah, it was a tough one. And what
mhm.
I liked about the game, man, the game was high energy, very competitive, but there wasn't no beef on the court with the players. The players
Yeah,
played ball. Like I said, there was some stuff in the crowd going on
hmm
with some of the Mervo folks, but other than that, man, the players was out there just balling, man, and it was a good game.
yeah.
I might go back and rewatch that game again.
I was
It was a
yeah,
good one.
it was a good game. It was a
Hmm.
good game. You know,
Yeah. And
yeah,
you had mentioned Blake, and was just looking at their schedule, and they just got beat by Magruder last week,
yeah,
um, and Magruder's is 6-0 right now.
yeah. I was
Um,
like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Magruder's on the roll, and they beat them. They beat Blake by 2 points, and then Blake came back the next 2 days later and beat Paint Branch by 13.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a. I didn't think Magruder had a basketball team, to be honest. You don't really hear
Yeah.
anything coming out of Magruder,
Hmm.
sports wise. But yeah, they're 6-0 right now. So
And I'm wanting to see Richard Montgomery because I've been hearing a lot about them. Richard Montgomery. Uh,
now Richard Montgomery has been tough the last couple of years.
mm,
Um, they made it deep the year before last, and then I think they got knocked off last year in the playoffs, and when they weren't supposed to lose. Because I think that one year they had a kid that I forgot where he signed to, but they had some players up there in Richard Montgomery. So
yeah.
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they are back loaded again. And they had a decent year football wise at Richard Montgomery.
Hmm.
Um, they look pretty decent. Yeah.
It's like with basketball, you know, and it's good. That's why you go to different games. Is you just get a more. One team can be tight, undefeated, and just have a horrible game,
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
just like that. They just
Yeah.
off, and it's like, oh, okay. And then to see them kind of fix it and do certain things, you can just have that with basketball. You just nothing. You just nothing is working.
Right.
So
Right.
that's what makes it interesting. So
Yeah, and then you just have a kid come out of the blue, like when we played Bladensburg last week. This kid that nobody knew anything about, man. The guy scored 30 points, and I don't think he missed a 3-pointer the whole game. He hit about 10 of them, 10 or 11 of them, and
hmm,
nobody knew who this kid was. Like, where did this kid come from?
hmm,
Because we sure didn't see it on the scouting report when we watched film. Like, we seen him on the court, but he wasn't shooting like that, and he couldn't miss that game. Like I said, they
yeah,
wind up beating us by 8 points, and
hmm,
you get hot. You get hot in basketball. It's one of those things.
yeah,
Yeah, you see that ball go through that net, and that thing opens up like an ocean, and everything you
yeah,
throw up is going in. You might as well just kiss the babies. You done. Cancel Christmas, kiss the babies, because you can't stop nothing like that.
yeah. You can't no matter what you can do. You can't just sit there and bow. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yep.
It was like he had it. He was on that night.
Yeah. All right, so we're getting close to the end of the show here, man, and before we let you go, so you can get back to spending time with moms and dad. Um, give me one of your biggest takeaways from the football season and the state championships.
Biggest takeaways. Mm. Hmm. I think that's a good question.
Yeah, look, as much games as you cover, I think that was too
Yeah.
broad of a question.
Whew.
Let's narrow it down. Let's narrow it down to the state championships.
Okay.
Yeah, what was your biggest takeaway, your biggest surprise of those games, or something that just blew you away?
Um. I think the never count yourself out. Like, and I think that was it. It reminds me of the lacrosse, the Middletown lacrosse game. So I go to the Patuxent Fort Hill game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, never count yourself out. Game ain't over
Mm-hmm.
till that clock says 0-0-0. You
Mm-hmm.
know, never count a team out until that. And you can really see what teams are made of and how well they're coached by how they play. each quarter. And I think that game and the two Baltimore City games were what stood out, because they were kind of like when I see from what happened to them last year how they handled the losing of that. Because I remember the guy from Merville saying when they lost that game, because it was 1 point, it was like an inch away. It looked like he got in, but they said he didn't. But he just remembered that moment, and he kept that in his mind, and that motivation to see them go in there and say, "This ain't happening again." I think that I I remember that, and like I said, Patuxent, they're kind of their whole we're the King Slayers. We did this at Dunbar, and this is what we did, and we coming here and we doing here because they're trying to be, the dynasty team, and to see that and see how much they persevered, because the team they had last year was probably one of their best teams, and that's what their coach said.
It was. They had a great quarterback, and they was a tough team last year.
Yeah, and then to see them come with a new freshman quarterback and do that, it speaks volumes, of that. Yeah, and you go down there. This is that small town, close knit family. They are very hospitable down there. But yeah, that was the biggest takeaways that I have from there. Nothing to anything else. I'm glad to see Huntingtown win their first one after losing 2 in a row, and then Ligonor, them two, they were undefeated last year, and then Arundel just came and just demolished them. And then to come back and say, that ain't happening again, and them to do that. But the biggest ones that stands out was the 2, Dunbar, Mervo, and Patuxent and Fort Hill. So, yeah.
Midnight, man. I dropped the bag on this one, man. I wish I would have kept better notes when I was watching the state championship games, because I think it was outside of 2 of the games, the winners in the other 6 games, and in 4 of the games, the eventual winner, I think all of them came back from double-digit points being down. And I think so. I hope I'm not saying that wrong, but a lot of those teams were down early and fought back and won the game. And I'm thinking, I think Ligonor had to come back. They wasn't down much, but they had. No, Ligonor blew them out. Yeah, they were rolling.
I think it was Huntingtown.
Huntingtown had to come back. Huntingtown was playing Northern, right? Yeah, so Northern had jumped out, and that was a surprise because nobody even thought Northern would, keep that game close. Nobody thought Northern would get there in the first place. Yeah. But they jumped out, and I think they were up like 21-3 or something like that. It was 21-0 or something, and Huntington came back and won that game. So I wish I would have took better notes of them, but it was some great comebacks in those out of those 6 games. Yeah. So. All right, man. You got anything for Karsten before he goes?
Nah, man. Just keep up the good work, man. If you need us if you want to post something, shoot it to me, and I'll post it on the Sideline Junkies page.
Okay.
So yeah.
As
long as you got copyright to
it. He gonna get on me. I got to shout out Gentleman Jack because I saw him at the States.
Okay.
He was like, they supposed to be here. I was like, were you here? He's like, shout me out. I was like, I got you. So shout out to Gentleman Jack.
There you go. He was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still listening. I seen him on here earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our guy Jack. Jack and Midnight, man. They've been doing this a long time. Like I said, Midnight, he's the hardest worker in podcast land, and Jack is running up behind him. So guys are all over the place, man, they came out to the PG versus Smack All-Star game. Seemed like it was a long time ago. It was just last weekend though. Out there in that cold weather, and hung out with us for a while, man. And shout out to the Smack team for winning that game 31-9. It was a good football game. For an all-star game. And pretty much for the most part, a clean game. We did have 2 injuries. I know it was a D lineman from the Smack that went out with, I think, an apparent knee injury. Don't know about him. And then we had a Suitland lineman at the end of the game go down for us. He got a concussion. But he's doing all right now, so he's good to go.
All right, cool.
Want to see nobody get hurt in the All-Star game, but it was a good game, man. And the Smack has won, I think, the last 3 games. So PG, we got our work cut out for us, but next season, PG has a lot of ballers. It's going to be because a lot of our talent this year was young. We're underclassmen, so we got a strong class across the board coming in next year. So it's going to be exciting in PG football next year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say anything yet, but we got a couple of changes coming up coaches wise. So it's going to be a new year coming up. New year coming in football, an exciting year. Very exciting year coming up. Expected. Yeah. So, all right, Midnight, what you got going on the rest of this week? You might get a little vacation since it's holiday.
This week I got unapologetic tomorrow at 6:30. I normally go on like around 7 because we're going to feature college football playoffs. Then turn around and 7:45, jump in with the fellas. We do our Tuesday night flight. Wednesday, I know we're off both days, and I think we're off Thursday. So the next time I'm back on there is Sunday with the Sunday Rise. No better way to start your week than the Sunday Rise, baby.
Okay.
And then what do you have coming up this week, games wise?
Oh man, all we got this week is the what we discussed earlier, the In the Water Showcase. Friday and Saturday, like I said, we got the first game Friday at 12 noon down at Showplace Arena, and then depending on how we do, that determine when we play on Saturday. So outside of that, that's it, man. And we're coming back with Pretenders or Contenders next Monday. Not taking a break off during the holidays since I missed the last 2 weeks. Next week's show, we got Defensive Player of the Year for the 4A football. Saquon Oath is coming on. That was the linebacker during the All-Star game.
I know.
Then he's gonna be joining us, and trying to get Dorian Stansel. He was the 1A, 2A Defensive Player of the Year. Just waiting for him to hit me back. And then Coach Mitchell, who was going to come on with us last week from the special teams coach from Flowers High School. She'll be joining us next Monday. She couldn't come on tonight because she's in Cleveland visiting family. So I told her she was going out to Cleveland for work or something because nobody travels to Cleveland. But she was like, nah, her in-laws are there. So so she'll be with us next week to give us a woman's perspective about sports and PG County sports, and she's also the treasurer for the Coaches Association as well. So just pick her brain, and that's what we got coming up. So
here we go.
Yep. So all right, we're gonna let everybody go tonight, man. We appreciate everybody for joining in and checking in with us tonight, and hope you all have a happy holidays from the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Enjoy your holiday season. Stay safe. Spend that time with family, and make sure you love on each other because nothing's promised next day.
Real quick before you get out of here, those that are watching now, that's cool. But if you get up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and decide that when you put your feet in the ground and you look up in the sky, you feel like you want to listen to the audio version of this show, all you got to do is go to Odyssey, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. It's going to be available there, the audio version. Or if you just want to come back and see these pretty faces again, click like and subscribe on YouTube. Check us out because this is available as we speak. So there you go. Sideline Junkies Podcast Network.
All right. So from Pretenders and Contenders Coaches Show, like I said, y'all have a good holiday, and we'll catch y'all next time. Karsten, we appreciate you joining us tonight, brother.
Appreciate y'all. Thank
All right,
you.
man. I'll take it easy.
Take care.
All right.